Well, hey, welcome back, everybody, and welcome to the final episode of this corner of the Mojave Desert for this winter. Yeah, all good things come to an end. This winter is over. We're coming into spring now, and it's just getting too darn hot down here. A few days ago, it was up to 103 degrees, and when you start getting into temperatures like that, it just gets way too dangerous to be doing solo exploring out in the middle of nowhere in the desert. Even though you have plenty of food and plenty of water, a lot of bad things can happen. But after this, we're gonna start working our way up north and get into some little bit cooler temperatures. So real quick, hey, I wanted to give out a big thanks to you folks, you brand new subscribers. I really appreciate you coming on the channel and following along with me on each one of these explores. And to all the folks that I made friends with down here at base camp number 1, this episode is for you. And the reason for that is because if you can remember, a lot of the conversations that we had were you asked me, hey, what kind of mines were really close to this area, within driving or walking distance. And I promised you all an episode to kind of show you those locations. So that's what we're going to do today real quick. We're going to work through about a 3 to 4 mile stretch through this area and drop into each one of those adits so you folks can take a look at what you were living next to for all these many months while you were running away from the snow. So to start, we are going to start with this one right over here. Okay, so we've got a big old hopper bin, and it looks to be like a lower adit over here, and then we've got some workings up above. So let's get started on this one. So at this location, we are about, I'm going to say not quite a mile away from a large body of water. And what do you get when you start exploring closer and closer to water? Well, the closer to water you get, the more critters you get, the more lizards, the more mice, the more pack rats. And because of all that, you're going to get more rattlesnakes. And so that's why today I am wearing my handy dandy snake chaps here. That's right. We don't want one of them buggers popping his fangs into me. So we're going to be real careful today running around this stuff, because whenever you get closer to water, the probability of running into a snake gets a lot higher. So let's see what we got over here. Let's start over here with this adit, and then we'll work our way and check out this hopper feeder thing. Looks like, they have rail coming out of here. That's interesting. Yeah, there's actual track headed off into the adit. That's a good sign. Okay, well, before we head into there, let's look over here. There's a heck of a hopper feeder. And off to the left, we got more rail coming out of an upper adit. Let's check out this hopper. I can't imagine what it took to get this honking piece of metal up here. But if you notice, you can see up there, it's all been welded. There's no rivets. These are all welds. So we're looking at something that was put in place probably in the 40s, 50s, or 60s, somewhere in that area. What do we got here? That's interesting. Let's pull on this handle. Oh, look at there, it still opens. It still works, cool. All right. Okay, well, before we go into that lower adit, because to do those we got to put on different gear. Why don't we head up top up there and see what kind of vein they're going into. See up there. Okay, we made it a little bit further up the hill, and you can see the vein that they were working right here. See how it's running on about a about a 45-degree angle, and there's a small little hole right over there. That could be maybe a part of an open stope. And then they were working that vein all the way across and down over here. So I see what they were doing. They plugged in an adit at the, I wouldn't say at the base of the vein, but about midway up. And they were running ore cars out to this hopper over here. And then that lower adit we just came from, another set of rails out there. And from that point, they didn't need to put it in a hopper. They could just load it straight into trucks and haul it on out of here. And on our way up to this location, I did see the remains of what used to be a mill or a processing plant. So when we leave on out of here, we'll stop by that real quick, and I'll show it to you. So, all right, well, let's gear up, and we'll start exploring this upper adit. Okay, let's explore this old mine. Like I said, we've got track in here, and I'm going to proceed real cautiously, guys, because within the first 40 feet of a mine, that's where you're generally going to see all of your rattlesnakes. So I'm not going to shoot into this thing really fast. We got some timbering up here. Okay. And I see where they were running some pipe for running compressed air for their drills. Oh shoot, wouldn't you know it, that's the end of it. All of this is collapsed and it pinches out right up there. All right, well, darn, that was short and sweet. Why don't we work our way further up the hill and see if that hole goes somewhere for what looks like maybe it could be like the top part of an open stope. I'll meet you up there. Okay, here we are at the top part of that open stope. Let's go down in here, and it's really not easy to get into. Oh boy. Let's look around real quick. Oh yeah. There we go. What do we got? Darn it, that is it, folks. Not too much going on with this adit. That's as far back as it goes. All right, well, let's work down the hill and go in that one that kind of has like the loading dock next to it. I'll meet you down there. Okay, we're back at the lower adit, and like I was saying, it looks like they have a, they built some sort of a loading dock down here with rails for the ore cars coming out on it. So let's work our way into this one. Okay. I feel a bit better that I got my snake chaps on. But you never know what's hiding. Let's see, what do we got here? We got some upper workings here. The stope. And let's go this way. They don't go very far though, just up to that area, right up in there. Like I said, they were working that vein that we saw up on top. So this probably would have been what was designed to be their main haulage adit. And oh, we've got, oh yeah, there's an ore pass right above our head here. Let me show you that. And one bat, no, more than one bat, 2 bats. Right there. So that would have been an ore pass, but they didn't finish making it. All right, let's go up here where the bats are. It's already starting to kind of pinch out. What's that on the floor there? We got a dead bat. Okay. And oh, yep, there's our 2. Well, one bat just buzzed my head, and there's the other one. There is 2 up in there. Okay. That's it. And there's a dead one down on the floor right there. Oh. What's left of him? Well, darn, not much going on with this mine. Looks like it was like a work in progress. And then they just stopped. Didn't bother to take the rail out either. So, okay. Well, like I said, we've got a number of adits along this this line of mountains here that goes about 2-3 miles. Let's work our way to the next location. See you there. So as I spoke about earlier, here's the mill site I was talking about, and from the locals I spoke to while I was at this location over the last 6 months, they said that this mill site was built just prior to World War II, and it serviced a number of mines in this area. I don't know who owned it, if it was owned by a separate mining company, or or the same company that owned a number of mines in the area. I didn't read into the history of location, but oftentimes that's what they would do at these, is they would put a mill site that's generally close to a main road, and then bring in the ore from all the different locations and mill them here. And if your mine was unassociated with the owners of this particular site, then they would mill your ore for a certain percentage. Well, let's see what we got here. That looks like what used to be some sort of a pump. I'm guessing. No? Well, yeah, because see, you got an outlet on that end. And right here is where the wheel could have been. I'm guessing that could have been a pump. Okay, let's see what we got down here. Well, it's going to take a bit to get down there, folks. I'll be right back. All right, well, we've got an engine. 4-cylinder. And of course, people come out here with their guns and shoot it all to heck. Still see the valves and everything in there. Transmission, PTO. Okay. Over here, what do we got? Oh, what's left of the hopper, which at one time was up there, probably. Somebody pushed it down the hill. Let's see if we got any rivets on it. No, it's all welded. So we're definitely working we're in the 40s and 50s, kind of in that area again. Oh boy. You guys know what no-see-ums are? Back east, you guys know what them are. They're little tiny gnats, little blood-sucking gnats. Well, because we're so close to water here, they're just everywhere. They're flying in my ears and my eyes. They're really a pain in the butt. What do we got down here? Oh, it looks like another one of them pump things, just like what we have up further. Huh. Oh, I know what that is. Okay. I think I've got it somewhat figured out. All right, so what you have here is you got a here's a shaft, and it's on a crankshaft. Okay, you've got the piston is right here hooked to your crankshaft, and as that spins, there you go. I'll bet this is a compressor. It's not for water, it's for compressing air. Let's look around the back side of it. Yeah, that's an old air compressor. Very cool. Let's see what's down here. Just what's left of some pylons, concrete and such, and that's about it. Somebody built there's an old trough here. All right, well, that's it for this site. You always know you're at a mill site, folks, when you see this stair-stepped configuration. And here they got real fancy and built a nice set of stairs. Check that out. Okay, well, let's get on out of here and head to the next adit. See you over there.
Abandoned and forgotten places, time removes all traces. Men dig for gold and leave the holes with sadness on their faces. Abandoned and forgotten places. Abandoned and forgotten places.
Okay, hey, wasn't that a good song? Yeah, real quick, hey, special thanks to my neighbors Russell and Clint for helping me produce what could someday be the new Abandoned and Forgotten Places theme song. I thought I would throw that in there today. Kind of share that with everybody. That was a lot of fun producing that. Written by myself and performed by Russell and Clint. Appreciate it, guys. Hope you're watching this. And let's head on into this next adit. Which is are really welcomed to, or looking forward to getting in here, I should say, because the no-see-em flies outside are just eating me alive. I think once we get in here where it's a little cooler, they're gonna leave me alone. Okay, what do we got here? Nice hard rock. Oh yeah, here we go. There's what's left of a dead pack rat. Okay. That's interesting. Where does this go? Well, it just pinches out again. Boy, we've just not been having a whole heck of a lot of luck today. Well, let's crawl on my knees and we'll get up in here and see where it goes. Well, I can see it kind of goes into a little bit of a stoped out area, but there's no way I can get in there, folks. That's just too narrow. It's only about 10 inches, and to get in there I would have to go on my belly on top of all them sharp rocks. No, let's not. Okay, well, another one that's short and sweet. All right, I'll meet you folks back outside. See you out there. Well, folks, you know, I had bigger hopes for those last two adits, because looking down on them from Google Earth, you know, when you see track leading into one and then there's a hopper outside, you would assume that that's going to be a bigger mine if they're hauling all that stuff in there, but didn't turn out to be that way. And for adit number 2 up in this next wash, same thing. Didn't go in very far, but I popped up over the hill because I wanted to see what this big rectangular thing was, and lo and behold, it's a school bus, or a bus. It's the magic bus. Wow, we got a bunch of junk in here. Old axle, a set of duals, refrigerator. That bus looks like what, 1960s? At least. Yeah. Look at the turn signal markers there and an arrow. That's cool. Yeah, that was drug out here sometime in the 60s. Well, since we're here, let's look inside. Check for snakes here. What do we got in here? What do you suppose this was, folks? A hippie mobile at one time? Heck yeah. Come on out here and party. All right. Well, we got another adit today. So let's work our way to the next one, shall we? Meet you over there. All right, well, we drove, I would say about 2 more miles further to the south. And there's a couple of waste rock piles up here you can see on Google Earth. So let's experience this one for the first time, huh? Together. What do we got here? Oh yeah, here we go. Let's take a look at the waste rock pile. Well, there's a few thousand yards here anyways. All right, well, let's gear up and head on in there. Meet up with you in a minute. All right. Let's see if this one's a little bit more substantial. Boy, we sure have been going through the baby adits today, huh? Oh, lots of bugs in this one. Right here at the opening. Yep, another hard rock mine. You can see where they're following the vein here. Here's the along the side here. Here's the footwall. Oh, and it splits off left to right. Okay, well, let's just keep hanging to the right, shall we? Wow, nice and big in here. It's about 8 feet tall, and you can see the pick marks on the walls from the miners. Oh wow, look at the size of this chamber. Very cool. Okay, let's keep going to our right. And now we're bending back to the left again. Sharp 90-degree turn. And we get to the face. You can kind of see the vein right in here, what they were going after. 1 second, turn my light off again. It's always easier to see that way. It's not too pronounced. It's only about 1 foot wide. Yeah, we've seen a lot better looking geology in our previous explorers, haven't we? All right. Well, let's just keep the camera rolling. Oh, we don't need Mr. Laser no more. We'll turn around here. Head back to that other passage and see what that's all about. Oh, it really didn't go anywhere. Just a big opened out area. Oh, we've got some cans on the floor here. Let's see what those are. Potted meat. That is a tobacco can. Prince Albert, usually. Oh, that's really recent. That's a can of juice from the 70s or 80s. Okay. More modern artifacts, not too interesting. Well, let's work our way back out to that next passage. Here we go. And it looks like this one's going to come to a dead end too. Yeah, and it just goes to the face. All right, folks, there's another one up on the hill. I'll meet you guys up there. Okay, so we hiked probably, I don't know, maybe 200 yards further up the side of this hill. And if you look out here in front of me, we started today's explore off on the other side of that mountain right there. And notice how, look out there, notice how the basalt has all been heaved up on an angle. And then, I'm not sure if you'll be able to make it out with this camera, but immediately here in front of us, the layers of the rock have not only just heaved up on an angle, they're actually sitting at 90 degrees. I can see quartz veins running through all of that out there. So what we got into today was a series. These are all nothing but a series of prospects. They're probing their way through this area, you know, testing each one of these veins. And the best way to get in on them is to come into the side of the hill and try to get deeper into the vein or deeper into the ore body, because generally the values would be better. So let's turn around here. So here's the one higher up on the hill, and I'm gonna have to kind of do a little bit of crawling to get into this one. It's only about 4 feet tall, so let's gear up, change out cameras, and I'll be back with you folks in a moment. We'll head on in there. Okay, let's see what treasures this one has to offer. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna have to kind of crawl a little bit, folks, so. And I'm looking around for those darn rattlers. All right. Oh, it was just kind of squeeze in the beginning, but not so bad here. Okay. And yep, it just goes up here to like an open stope area. And that's it. All right, turning around. Looking back out. Just another exploratory. A whole day's worth of exploratories. Well, and that's another reason why we need to, time to leave the Mojave and head up north to where all the big mines are. And I'm tired of doing all these little tiny adits. They're fun and all, but we got to get into some of the bigger mines that have more artifacts and things to find in them. All right, I'll be back in just a moment. Well, folks, it's time to get on out of here. That finishes up today's Explorer. I really wanted to document all of the adits in the area where my base camp was, because I had a lot of new friends and neighbors that were asking about this area and what was close by. Yeah, you know who you are out there if you're watching this episode. And not only that, we need to finish up the day because it's getting just too darn hot out here. Some of you probably been wondering, what is this thing? What do I carry on my wrist? Let me show you what that is. That is a compass and a thermometer and a whistle. And it's got a striker, a flint striker for making a fire. And the compass reads 101. And 101 is just too darn hot to be out here exploring adits. So, all right, well, I appreciate you all coming along. That sure was fun exploring this area of the Mojave Desert. And we're not done by any means. No, next winter we're going to be back down here again. And we're going to go into a little different part. But this summer, like I said, we're going to head up north. No, I'm not going to reveal where I'm headed. It is someplace special, and it has much bigger mines. So stay tuned for all of those new episodes. I'm really looking forward to getting on out of here and heading up north. Not only is it a little bit cooler, but the mines are much bigger. All right. Thanks, folks, for coming along. I really appreciate all my new subscribers. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next weekend. Take care now. Bye-bye.